So many of us point to habits, good or bad, that steer our life. And today I'm gonna drop 7 micro habits that can improve your life from a physical and mental well-being perspective. Stick around to the end and I'll tell you how you can actually implement these so that they stick. Hi, I'm Maddie, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. Let's dive in. First micro habit, have a cold shower. Now, I am the first one to say I do not do this every day, but I do it maybe every other day. And why? Well, if you've been paying attention to Wim Hof, you'll know that it's very, very good for us. But let's go into the details. Why is it actually good for us to endure a cold shower when it's really the last thing you want to do, especially as you roll out of bed to kind of spray yourself with icy cold water? Number 1, it does give you a hit of dopamine. So one of our 4 feel-good brain chemicals. We're gonna go coursing through our brain, giving you that boost for the rest of the day. So it shifts your mood. If you're waking up thinking, I do not want to face the day, and you jump into a cold shower, although of course that may not be the best moment of your life, it is going to positively affect your mood. Secondly, it improves your circulation. So that in turn can improve your heart health and reduce inflammation. We know that inflammation is the leading cause of lots of diseases. So by reducing that, just by doing this simple micro habit, you can actually improve your long-term physical health. So something as simple as turning the dial on your shower to make it just left of center. That's the way your shower diet goes. So something as simple as jumping into a cold shower can radically change how you feel throughout the day and long-term positively affect your physical health. And let's face it, although it's not pleasant, it's not exactly difficult. I will tell you, you do get used to it. Next micro habit is 10 minutes of learning. So incorporating that into every day is amazing if you can afford the time, but even once a week, giving yourself 10 minutes to learn something totally new has these incredible benefits. It improves your cognitive health. This stimulates brain plasticity. It can decrease cognitive decline by keeping your brain active. It also helps improve memory and focus. It actually makes you more productive in the other things that you're doing. So just dedicating 10 minutes, whether that's daily or weekly, to learning, you're giving yourself the gift of focus and attention. And in this day and age, when our attention span is decreasing and we are overstimulated by the various things around us, just isolating that time to learn something new. It doesn't have to be related to other things that you're doing. It could be, knitting or gasworks or or floral arrangements. Choose something that is as far out as you like, or something that is related to what you're passionate about anyway. But taking up that habit of learning something new can give your brain the kind of nourishment that you may be lacking. It's also a form of stress reduction. So if you feel that stress mounting or you're struggling with anxiety or worry, so giving yourself a break from the things that may be causing you concern and immersing yourself in a different world can relieve that stress. And if we're talking about stress reduction, let's mention the third of our micro habits, which is giving yourself tech-free time. So I like to do this for an hour every day, just isolate a certain hour in the day where I'm not gonna engage with tech of any kind. So put my phone away, put my computer away, not look at the TV, just be completely immersed in the real world. And this is really important from a physical perspective. So you are actually reducing eye strain. So there's a lot of strain that goes on when we're looking at screens all day. So stepping back from that for a period of time, whether it's an hour in the day like I do, or it's a day of the week, some people are doing that, and that's really useful as well. However you want to carve out that time, by giving yourself that break, you're gonna reduce that eye strain, but you're also going to reduce the overstimulation that we've actually become so used to that can contribute to feelings of depression, feelings of anxiety, and feelings of overwhelm. A simple break from your tech can change the picture and can allow you to just regroup, focus in on what you're feeling. It's also going to improve your sleep quality. So reducing screen time, especially before bed, helps produce more melatonin, which is the hormone responsible for good quality sleep, healthy sleep. So if you are looking at when is the best time to have that tech-free zone, look towards bedtime. Look at making that time when you can put your phone away, keep it out of the bedroom, and get a book or do your journaling, something that doesn't require that tech. The next micro habit is to perform small acts of kindness. If you make it your mission to every day perform some small act of kindness, first of all, you're going to increase your happiness by boosting your levels of oxytocin. So when we do something good for someone else, we get this surge of oxytocin through our body, another one of our feel-good brain chemicals that actually strengthens our bond with the rest of the human race and increases our happiness levels. It will reduce stress by so doing and allow us to, again, revisit those feelings of anxiety and worry and just feel more stimulated in those calmer sensations. So small acts of kindness, that could be holding the door for someone. That could be picking up the phone when your aunt is calling and you really don't want to have that conversation again when she's moaning about her front lawn ornaments, but actually taking the time to listen to her is going to be that small act of kindness. Maybe the small act of kindness is just putting a note in your child's lunchbox saying, I love you, can't wait to see you later today. Whatever the small act of kindness is for you, maybe helping a stranger with their shopping bags. Be creative. If you give yourself this mission, you can start thinking throughout the day, when am I going to do this small act of kindness? Where is it going to be? And you start looking for opportunities. It becomes a little game you can play with yourself. And when you incorporate this into your daily life and you make sure that by the end of the day you've completed that small act of kindness, not only are you going to get all the benefits that I mentioned already, but you'll start to see more opportunities where you can perform these small acts of kindness. And the great thing that happens then is that we get that feel-good factor, but also we get a sense of community by helping others. We're connecting with the people around us, and that actually is a leading cause for longer life and overall mental and physical well-being. Micro habit number 5 for increasing your overall mental and physical well-being, I first learned about from the author James Nestor in his book Breathe, and this is simply breathing more through your nose. As humans, we were actually evolved to breathe through our nose, and yet most of us are breathing incorrectly. And this can have a degenerative effect on our physical and our mental health. So when we talk about incorporating this as a habit, well, you're already breathing throughout every day, all day anyway. But if you can draw some attention to your breathing and breathe more consciously through your nose, even for just 2 minutes a day, it can have a significant impact on physically how you feel, but also on your mood. So again, reducing that anxiety, nervousness, it stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, so it can invoke feelings of being calm and more in control. Nose breathing improves oxygenation by filtering, warming, and humidifying breath before it enters into the lungs, which allows for quicker absorption of that air into the lungs and increases blood flow. Similar to some of the habits we talked about, nose breathing throughout the day or specifically at night will also improve your quality of sleep, which of course will have an impact on your mood and your physical health. The next micro habit, I really want to emphasize the word micro here. So this is about mindfulness, but I am not talking about, having an hour of mindfulness exercise every day. I'm talking about mindful moments. So what I love about this is you can actually incorporate the practice of mindfulness in your everyday moments. You can be mindful as you drive to work. You can be mindful when you're taking that Zoom call. You can be mindful when you're making your coffee. It's just about making the conscious decision to actually do that. How do we make that conscious decision? By engaging with our senses. So by really tuning into what we can hear, what we can smell, what we can taste, what we can touch, what we can feel in that moment. It doesn't have to detract from whatever else it is we're doing, but it just brings us into the present tense. This micro habit can increase focus. It can improve decision-making and productivity, as well as, of course, being a great way to reduce stress. Mindful moments can also be a source of emotional regulation. So if you're struggling with mood swings, if you find yourself going from high to low throughout the course of a day, just taking those mindful moments throughout the day will allow you to feel more empowered in choosing how you want to react to certain stimuli and can help you to level out those moods when you need to. I've got one more to go through, which is one of my absolute favorites and not one that you hear about very often. But before I do, remember, if you're hearing these micro habits and you're thinking, well, these sound great, but how am I actually going to implement these? Stick around to the end because I'll give you a top tip for implementing these habits so that you can actually use them and stick to them. My final micro habit is to incorporate walking meetings into your day. What's a walking meeting? A walking meeting is to take your meetings on a walk. get moving. So whether that's your phone calls that you need to have, or grabbing your colleague and saying, you know what, we're gonna come out of the office and we're gonna go walk during our meeting. The reason I love this so much is, of course, it gets your step count up, which we all wanna do, improving that circulation through your body, making sure that your heart health is improved. But we know that walking and moving in general also promotes creativity. And when we're in meetings, it's very easy to just get stuck on one track. Incorporating creativity is one of the things I'm most passionate about when working with people who are trying to improve certain goals within either their business or their relationships or just their normal day-to-day life. The other thing that walking does when we're on the road with someone, we take that person and we go, no, we're going walking for our meeting, is that it improves connection. By engaging in physical exercise with another human being, again, we're gonna boost those oxytocin levels, which is a great way to feel more connected. So especially if it's a difficult meeting or one that you're anticipating there might be a knocking of heads, get it outdoors, get it moving, and see what happens. Look, I'm not saying that tomorrow you're gonna wake up and incorporate all 7 of these micro habits into each and every day, but if you pick and choose the ones that are relevant to you, or look at the problem areas, like is it a stress release that you need, or is it more productivity, and go through these 7 micro habits and check out which ones you're gonna start incorporating into your life, you may notice an effect right away. And we're not talking anything so dramatically challenging that you're gonna end up feeling frustrated at not being able to stick it out. More often than not, it's a case of just remembering to do it. And if you want help with that, check out this awesome video that I put together on how to maintain healthy habits in your life. It's only about 10 minutes. I'll see you over there.